Me one of the people I'm a bonkrofo bi din say me de menya kemo momre kakra na mo ntena ho. Unsa akokwa ebra Barack Obama ba Ghana no kan say me say Africa needs strong institutions.
Sure.
Not strong men. And you know, me one of the believers say he has strong institutions. But akokwa sometimes in Africa, we have strong men to build strong institutions. And especially at the time akokwa nipa na de na wo ye no. A novelty. I had there say yen say den hu bi. Example your regional minister. So no no be the regional minister Dr. Frank Amakwen.
Yeah.
But I didn't know anything. I didn't know how, baby. What was the difference? The difference is that near war, yen time who sa. Didn't know Honorable Henry Cote, agent or Greater Accra. Because they don't often see that kind of leader and it's our activities and a novelty. So therefore, Obiba no ye juma. I say about Nabaso.
Right.
Me obi ba ko amaka. I've explained my reasons. Na me dwen senke ma ne to aso ebeboa. Professor Kobna enim. Obeka Ghana Statistical Service. Maka ne ho asem za menim ne da. But I'm coming to talk about another gent when they minim no.
Right.
Because I've stayed on KNUS, I've schooled there for about 6 years. And now a deputy director of student affairs. And no be a Konfanochi CEO. I think say the decision in Komobi Amate from high place sources, Sanya de Papane Fasono, it's not fair.
Okay.
Akokwa, I am not by this submission saying that President Mahama doesn't have the right to change a CEO of a hospital. There be, Minister to me, no. After all, the 55% of Ghanaian voters in 2020 gave him that mandate and gave him that executive power, the powers of the state to do that decision. But Akokwa, as a journalist, sometimes you can also make arguments and inform the public. How do I inform the public? Document the crime. Not every member of the public will have access to this document.
Yeah.
So my job as a journalist is my fidelity to fact one, to inform the public, and also to sometimes critique the decisions of government. And when we are critiquing the decisions of government, it doesn't mean that you are against the government. I go kwa can some here Professor Kobna no ko kan Facebook comment ni bi. Say agiska o papa no wo.
Yeah.
Minim ne da. Ba prof de minim no.
Sure.
Ana ka some agiska won won so a enya me wanwa. And that will also not stop me from doing my job. I may take time to do this introduction because we are going to go on an explosive ride. And I'll give you verifiable evidence. I'll give you statement from Otumfuo himself. Every doctor or Heneba or Sudan to free or retire from public service. Or Kokonfano to July 2017.
Right.
2022 no kwan humiji. Na say CEO ba. Any other brand to be MPP ba no be some then call Ghana Standards Authority or rejected position. And there's public now you can Google.
Yeah.
And now December 2020 President Akufo-Addo bone din so nko Konfano che. Sa papa ne nie. Your friend Professor Dr. Ocha Dimensa. The doctor na confused or a medical doctor by profession, or a PhD or a professor, associate professor, actually. No, a Ken was the deputy director of student affairs. Ma Montiasi and say headmaster of school. We say house masters. Into Ken was housemaster for a director of student affairs. Formerly near dean of student. Now we need a deputy dean. The student phone in our welfare any biano. On a deputy but I say Ken was a shame. Kind of director of student affairs, not a deputy director. No be a CEO. Right. So my instance say even you don't call Ghana Standard Authority reject it. Also per my place sources, it took a lot of convincing for him to accept the role at Konfanoche. A lot of convincing. I got my Kumasi 11 years. And one was so better Konfanoche CEO. And then I pet Frank Amakon Yasam. I think the word novelty, novelty just about for French Nobel Prize. I know so no novelty. The fresh air, fresh breath, resurgence, that's the word.
I see you who be that.
Yes, be a bad but mema bresono, meaning who be that.
Sandy can
see our bar kokwa. What did you mason? And I've established my bad. I know him.
Okay.
I know his capabilities. I'm very in fact, he's a friend. I can call him a senior brother and a friend.
Yeah.
And I kokwa, because I'm a bias assistant, and I cannot come and stand here and say you're retaining.
Yeah.
I can only do that by adducing verifiable facts and give you data. Now, Oji CEO, ni tu sha na so be CEO December 2020 akokwa wa bensin ti enya mass no. December 2023 1 year. December 2024 2 years. January, February, March, April. Technically by Tuesday or the last manager meeting now I resign. That's what I'm picking signals from. To be a CEO for 24 months, 4 months, so 28 months. I hope when you say when you see me. When was the last time I would say Confanoche was in the news like this?
Sure.
Before he Confanoche Krame Basono, Oba Confanoche, this was the state of Confanoche.
Yeah.
And Obeka say be me see me nim my picky picture be na me painting picture be. Omo ya he Confanoche. There's a picture I personally took.
Yeah.
Obi on follow me Facebook be abeka picture. I personally took this picture at Confanoche. Akwa we award no mo renovation we Confanoche no. And I we old block no. So when you free na, you can see a glaring difference.
Yeah.
And this picture represent the difference in the leadership Professor Chadai Mensah brought to Confanoche.
And okay say in the past nanka news we better no yes ye do enkofo ko Confanoche omunya bed ye de binuma ko mugugu fem and all those things. In the past we were hearing these things, ambulance grab it me the nipa ko dru Confanoche and bed the cry ye do be better so na ye de ne but the time me such news no mentibi
akwa omo bed shugakra. And I say this because I have close associated.
Right.
Confanoche's issue has always been space and renovation.
Okay.
Akwa, this picture symbolizes the gaping gap between old leadership and the new leadership.
Okay.
Now I'm coming to quote Otumfo for you. Otumfo lanche yo Confanoche. Nisa makacho sa ade ba kwa. KNS ya chireme. Dr. Jones Opoku ware.
Okay.
Criminologist KNS o nim no. Wasa wo ye researcher. Ye frame be themes and patterns.
Sure.
In the akwa ye buse nyina what dem man say den ntina obadwuma no wamu na ye pay. So it tells you that it is a common theme.
Okay.
Akwa say ana de ba akusi a ebia ye seko ebia ye ba akubi mienu si e ba akubi miensa si e ba akubi etoso miensa akona obroni ka ne pattern. So you do a pattern analysis. I never call Sanchez and say, "Upaso ye proper research. I need to do sentence analysis. So be kasa, pick the words, isolate it, and analyze it. Otumfo he call and say Confanoche no. Omu true speech man, one kind speech no. Sana galamse di KNS no kan twi. Obi abetima bo video na tie. Or say, ti asema kan say. This Otumfo speaking. So you can see the words are in inverted commas. Or say, the leaking roofs, exposure of electric cables, cracked walls are shameful. Let's all put aside party politics and join hands to fix this embarrassing situation. Collectively, we can raise the $10 million and give a facelift to the hospital. This is Otumfo. Because I say, the A to D blocks, popularly called G, named after one of the contractors who built the hospital G, Walter and Smith Limited, which has about 120 beds. Since their construction in 1955, have never seen any major renovation works that's impacting adversely on quality of inpatient care. This is not Otumfo. This is the reporter. Otumfo the next. Or say, Otumfo's initiative formed part of its legacy project, expected to be executed as part of the 25th anniversary of his ascension to the Golden Stool come 2024. According to the Santehene, he had disguised himself on 2 occasions to visit the facility and that he was aware of the state of deterioration.
Okay.
Or say, he said, when the CEO of the hospital approached, I'm saying a sentence analysis. It was saying, it took the CEO of the hospital to do what? To approach the king to ask for help.
Yeah.
His approach, together with Samuel Dubuache, the chairman of Confanoche, bet what we now have as the Hill Confanoche.
Yeah.
That is leadership. That is initiative. Initiative what you say? Obaye Mike ne adwuma onya technician won say cable bi na ate what media kabom e de tape afa ho de aye adwuma. That is initiative. eti oba obeto hospital na say
sure
otumfo confirm no e say ono kura this guy say no premier ni so akọ hospital akọ hu say ade na say no ono approach otumfo that approach together with the likes of Samuel Dubuache the chairman of Comfa bet the Hail Confanochi project I hu ni say that is initiative.
Yeah.
So such a leader, the contract be 2026.
Yeah.
Now we say uncle because I buy mainly because I buy as a son. I don't agree. Because Oma na wo had the dano. I na buy as a son mo buy no. Omo kon. This was the state of the hospital in the west of Otumfo. And the reason why I didn't want to even add more picture back per buy and say because I mean I'm a
yeah.
But this is the Otumfo speaking. And Ghana ha me you be any leader be enu amijini apart from Otumfo ne a national chief imam Sheikh Shaributu.
Unibadi ade bia na me hwe see we ya me dwen ho kakra ne say if he had been appointed men can say 2020 within the COVID season where donations are any adene banner this man could have done exceptional work and transform Confanochi greatly because 2020 ko nyina donations and banner Confanochi but we didn't see any major improvement.
This is the state according to Otumfo.
Yes, but Papa Ibayi unim say Semba Africa Woman Award for 2024.
Yes,
the initiatives
in fact Confanochi dan e penti no oba e wani 1 year kra no penti no.
And staff no cry tested to welfare packages are way increasing.
How come a
lot of things.
Me blow your mind. You see, and to be say confirmation no face one no me no. I personally Eugene Osei-Tutu went to the hospital.
Right.
What am I catch us journalism na here. That no be transfer you no mo cancer na.
Sure.
Yentena kuma say journalism.
Yeah.
You go field ni bi. You two pan. I personally went to Confanochi. Now prof leave. No, I'm say prof. But some shadi a can you Confanochi. This is the Confanochi. This is phase 1. And I got this is video I personally took and posted on my personal channel on the 21st of January 2025. This is the state of Confanochi. Your internet is high. So let me even do a 720. This is the state of the Confanochi hospital. Yeah, me the chire first no. Hail Confanochi no. Say na tie.
Environment no crowd.
Man for them. I walk washrooms na. I have some me more no. Ojum so ya na ye pepa. Ahoma bi wo we patient na bi a what bi a chen ya na ese beba. Look at the state. This is the transformation happening at Confanochi.
Wow.
This is the transformation. This is a video I Eugene Osei-Tutu personally took. So it's not say obi na akachere me.
Yeah.
And me here prophecy ka. Say me hu ade ye. Excellence is palpable. And I'm saying, say no 2-4 kan picture na me dey tell previously no. Any abedu say no. Why should we sacrifice this man? Kade mo 2026 no. Na ke make sure so dey kakrai because this facility takes care of 12 out of the 16 regions in our country.
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
Health Minister no honorable Akanu Bizan say mu ye den na pomodin nsem. Enfa na obai. MPP ahiagba. So kai election. Minyanka me production ma abo na west no. O see mu ye den na enfa na obai. Confanochi.
O promise crash o behwe say oni mpanifo be kasa me improve the
Confanochi. This is the facility.
I remember.
This is now the facility. Na akokwa unim.
Yeah.
Maybe a Confanochi lawyer say you renew the contract. So there's the picture. Mama video evidence. There's the picture they nyame source where Confanochi for one face picture.
Right.
But because minimum thing, me the video and me camera, it could try. And so my personal channel, sure. I posted it on the 21st of January 2025.
Yeah.
These are the pictures.
It's a modern
hospital. Maybe a Confanochi lawyer be say you renew the contract. Until one of the news is starting say you Confanochi we sika any ade na kokwa. Oh, you health professional. When was the last man who say associations within hospitals that support to see you?
Intense.
Kanokre, we nurse ni na uti.
Majority of them no.
Omukra started agitation. When they started, look at this letter. The unions at Confanochi wrote a letter to the president. Now that's what they wrote. They said, we, the labor unions are Confanoche Teaching Hospital, KADA, Confanoche Doctors Association, KAPA, Confanoche Pharmacists Association, Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, and the Health Services Workers Union stand in solidarity with the CEO and management of the hospital to continue their good works at KATH. 4 strong associations to defend the integrity of a CEO tells you something. You may not like the man, you may not like him because of his politics. That is fair. But I've always said that when we are analyzing an issue, let's separate facts from the noise. Or see, the statement has become necessary following recent allegations against the CEO by a lawyer Edufu in the petition to the president's office. We recognize that the allegations against the CEO do not define his character and dedication to the well-being and development of the hospital. Sentence analysis. Doctor for Confanoche, pharmacists for Confanoche, nurse for any midwife for Confanoche, and other health workers union for say. Doctor no, as some lawyer ne kano, ne character, ne ahofama for juma no. The one person Confanoche and nya saa na doctor ne chere president no. Na nya no kore. Or say, we witness what Professor Dimensa has achieved since he was appointed as CEO of KATH. What has he achieved? And I don't normally do this, but where I sit as a journalist, and we have information sometimes the ordinary Ghanaian will not have. Prof about 2022, no, Confanoche revenue, right, was around 115.8 million cedis. So this is it. About 22, because also by December 2022, right? At the end of the fiscal year of 2020, Confanoche, now on revenue, you see, 115,819, 115.8 million cedis. 2024 December, and anybody can go to Confanoche or file an RTI request and get this data. Confanoche revenue, 222.6 million cedis. This is December 2022. And this is December 2024.
Almost double.
Almost double. And in the meantime, no, Sika is charging because when revenue increases, 2 ways. Revenue can increase by increasing the price of your products and services. Say be a first more pan and 5 cc 10 cd. It's a way to increase revenue. Another way to also increase revenue is to cut expenditure.
Now,
yes.
Attracted services.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Now do you know what it did? There's something you call the electronic medical record system.
Okay.
Or making sure say implementation.
Right.
Or making sure say we appointing a deputy director. To ensure all these wastages are checked.
Okay.
If you have a man who has moved the hospital's revenue from 115.8 million cedis as of December 2022 to 222.6 million in 2 years, our office for 28 months, why should he be sacrificed? Because
that means they are not making losses.
Another thing. Brand image is important.
Sure.
And then a multimedia could in some food company in Sanction as a chong. Because what tends the brand? And then we use a lot of ways to be you brought the name of the institution into disrepute. In the last 28 months, has Confanoche's name been in disrepute? Aqua, here Confanoche had a friend to change. My man, your money be. Tell you, busy be a me if me near wire. Aqua, only a risk management policy. For the first time, hospital, teaching hospital.
Okay.
No money risk management policy in 70 years. I want to be a risk management policy.
Right.
Staff motivation. Each staff will be a get-together allowance near 200 cedis or bar office 2022. But what they call 300, that's at December 2023. Head of directors or allowance now 1,000. So they call 1,500. It's wastage nebini. Or more chrono because he is properly or she is properly motivated. From 200 to 300, directors from 1,000 to 1,000. For that, move and chame say mama for home allowance. Move and chame, but money be ano. O kwa Confanoche first o ko dwonso a. O ko pro be me ma na ye juice ka. Oba o so watwam. So watwam. O kwa Confanoche a on say wo efe. Sanity bebre nu ni paper ni e what time nti sanitation bebre. It's a 10-page document. So, I strongly don't agree with President Mahama on this decision. He has the powers of state executive powers. But I feel that, as a doctor, as I say, I was going to say, for the Dr. Frank Amakwe, no. The momentum the gentleman is on, you keep him. Then you ensure that at least, in the 1 year, okay, maybe December 7, 2026, you keep him. But I'm reliably told by my sources, who's the doctor and I receive confirmation based on some of these things.
Okay.
On almost 700,000 cities. 37 billion. Also, on yes, sir. By next week, Professor Richard Diamonds will step down as CEO for Confanoche. That's the information I can give you.
Well,
yeah.
I think Wabeya Juma.
Yeah.
And of course, I say your politicians no mu say and you be a ne wo or ye Juma or dinna come ye Juma ma political party. Obi wa wo ye adwuma na o man ho do regardless of party or free mono. Utimu se ni dwuma dia odie no. Even with the change of government, the initial phase no utimu se e be a few months, utimu se still the modern momentum okura no ogusu a wo ye den okọ nanim. And I think that some people like this no esi etimi keep you but any kind of political appointments there akwai to say ohine ba ne de ne papa te ase. It of course say wa ban free so a na ko ebibi o but I think say see a change yes sign kwan fa so ye no ma so man. Yes, it's very important.
I mean there me yeah. Research on Ghana starts coming introduce you initiatives and my
yeah.
You should see that tax but very framing. From us Eugene. Had an information on so say be am adwuma the way menya. And you see the ordinary people no sometimes beyond the sentimental politics they don't see these things.
Yeah.
But akokwa me makoko mfa no cheda. Minam nimnie makom. Ana minimnie sese me kwa mi hu.
Sure.
And as I said, this picture represents the entire presentation I've done.
A lot.
That's all.
Right.
Now, I come with second story so. It's about Zoom.